Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this webinar. May I request some of you to raise your hands if you are able to hear me so that I know that it's on fine. Okay, thank you so much, Neeraj. So let's get started. I'm so very happy to be with you presenting this webinar and discussing the topic which is probably the most relevant topic for those people who really want to earn your CBAP or CCBA. So I'm so very happy to be with you. Thank you very much for joining the workshop, this webinar, and giving this opportunity to me to present to you the perspective that BABOK 3 brings, the changes that IIBA is making in the certification schemes, how does it impact us, and what can we do. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, some controls. You see this screen on your laptops, and there is a red button. This is used to open or close your windows, so you can do that. There is also a view, so if you click that view button, you can view this presentation in full screen or in window mode. So you can do that. And you can test your audio on your laptop. If you want to use the telephone, you can use the telephone. If you do want to use the telephone, you have to use an audio pin that is presented on your screen, right? And you have multiple ways of asking the questions. So please do submit your questions, and I will be very happy to answer those questions. So this is the question screen. So you can put your question here. You can raise your hand, and at the end we will have time to address your questions. It's about me. My name is Surendra Saxena, and here is my email address and telephone number. So please feel free to contact me even after this webinar. I will be happy to assist you. I am the co-founder and managing director of Validate Technologies. Have roughly about 30 years of experience in the industry. I was the vice president and head of the business unit for Saskin. I was responsible for setting up the Center for Lucent Technologies in Hyderabad and managing that center. So I was the site head as well as the engineering head. I was chief operating officer at Debu Telecom, and I started my career with CDOT, and I was a delivery manager for Alberta. I'm basically an engineer. Did my MTech in computer science way back in '85, and I am also an MBA from FMS Delhi University. So here I am, and let's go together with this webinar. So we will learn some of the changes that are coming with BABOK 3. We will learn key differences in the exams with BABOK 3. So what is the CBAP today, and what is going to be the CBAP post-September, and how that CBAP can be impacted through BABOK 3 introduction. Okay, so what are those plans, and with those changes, how can you strategize and foolproof your CBAP to support your professional career? And as I told, we will actually take some questions later on. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. Okay, so let's go through key changes that are coming with BABOK 3. Can you please raise your hands again if you are able to hear me, because I have a question from someone if there is a problem with the audio. Okay, Shava, thank you. So, those who are unable to hear me, please can I request you to check your audio at your end? So the changes with BABOK 3. So let's first understand why BABOK 3 came. What was the reason that IIBA started the development of BABOK 3? And here what it is, there are multiple reasons for developing BABOK 3 and developing the way it has got developed. First thing is that since BABOK 2 came in 2009, right, there were new concepts and practices since that version. Okay, and those had to be incorporated. because in past 5-6 years, our industry has gone tremendous amount of changes. And therefore, those changes of the professional, those changes and the demand from the professional community need to be accommodated. This community of business analysts need to be supported by IIBA with some of the good practices in business analysis, and that is one of the reasons why BABOK 3 got changed. Another thing is a business analyst actually primarily in late 2000s, they were working in the area of IT, and we have seen that this role has been evolving and broadening. So the scope of BA profession now goes beyond IT, and that's another reason why BABOK 3 incorporated these changes. The third one is there were some lessons that were learned from participants who have worked with the current version, those people who work with BABOK 2.0 and also 1.6, and there were some lessons learned, and we were part of this. Actually, we were part of this journey as part of our partner Watermark Learning. We were part of this journey, and there were some lessons that were learned from the development of these standards, and those things need to be incorporated. So those were also incorporated in BABOK 3.0. Also, BABOK 2.0 had certain issues in terms of its flow, the readability, the usability, and that is something that is improved in BABOK 3. Also, the consistency and the quality of the text. So if those of you who have read BABOK 2.0, you will have noticed that there are different knowledge areas and they are written differently. So that consistency was improved. The quality of text has been improved. The quality of figures and illustrations though have been improved. And also, improved the consistency with other generally accepted standards which are related to the practice of business analysis. So there are certain alignment with other standards, other good practices that were there in the industry. So here are the changes at a glance. So you see on the left-hand side of the table this BABOK v2.0, and on the right side you have BABOK v3. So there are some changes. Actually, business analysis, planning and monitoring remains the same. Elicitation became elicitation and collaboration. Means that we need to elicit the requirements. However, we need to elicit along with our stakeholders. Okay, so that is a mindset change, and actually that reflects in the new knowledge area. So that has changed. Requirements management and communication has become requirements lifecycle management. Because the requirements need to be actually managed throughout the life cycle of the project as well as the life cycle of the requirements themselves. So it is that. Enterprise analysis, actually why you were doing it, it is primarily for understanding the strategy of the organization, the strategic direction of the organization, and actually that analysis has to be done keeping strategy in mind. So enterprise analysis has become strategy analysis, and therefore the focus of this knowledge area has changed. Requirements analysis has become requirements analysis and design definition, because when you analyze the requirements, actually you need to think of design in many cases. So that's another welcome change. Solution assessment and validation is basically solution evaluation. Evaluate solution and see whether it meets that business need that we started with or not. Evaluate the solution and see whether it really aligns with the strategy and it can support our strategic goals and all, right? So evaluate the solution. It is all about benefit realization. Okay, and underlying competencies remain same. There are something that got added. Another thing is there is another change in BABOK 3, which is inclusion of business analysis core concept model, BACCM. Also expanded role, expanded scope of the role of business analysis in creating better business outcome. So business analysts actually are no more focusing on those tasks and techniques. It is much broader than that. Which focuses more on the better business outcome. Also inclusion of perspective, which describes the specialized way in which the business analysis work will be conducted and the unique value that will be provided to the enterprise. And some of you might have attended two of my previous talks on the agile perspective and business process management perspective. Right. Also expanded underlying competencies to reflect diverse skill sets of business analysts and some new techniques that have emerged as part of these changes. Okay, so here is the BACCM, which actually has 6 components. So it always starts with some change, right? So there is some change that has happened either within the organization or outside the organization that presents an opportunity, or actually gets into a problem that need to be solved. Some change actually which has the relevance to business, and this change has to be looked into in the context of the business and also the stakeholders who are impacted by this particular change. So that change is actually driving a need, right? And that need has to be satisfied through a solution that will deliver the value. Okay, so that's your BACCM. So that is the new concept that has come. And there are perspectives, so agile perspective, business intelligence perspective, information technology, business architecture, and business process management. So these are the 5 perspectives that have been included as part of BABOK 3. Okay. And there are many new techniques that got added because of the change in scope. Some of the techniques have got renamed and their focus is a little different. So they are old techniques, however, the focus is different and therefore they have changed. So there are a lot of changes that are part of BABOK 3, and as a result of that, BABOK 3 has also grown in its size. It is now about 500 pages up from 250 pages, right? So it has grown into size, but that's a good news, right? That IIBA has really done a terrific amount of work to really provide us what we need to be successful. And we need to, as you remember, as a BA, you need to use only a subset of it. So you don't have to use everything, right? But that's one. Now let's see actually how does it impact your CBAP or CCBA, right? So we will now cover how it impacts your certification dream and how do you strategize to really fulfill your dream. So that's what we will do. So first of all, let's see that how the exam changes, right? Because exam is changing. Your CBAP and CCBA exam is changing. So first, let us see actually what is the change in the exam, right? So first thing, at overall high level thing, the last date for BABOK V2 based exams, right? So the current exams that are aligned to BABOK V2.0 will continue to be available till September 22nd, 2016. Of September. And in order for you to take your exam by then, IIBA has added several more exam slots with Prometric. So you should be able to schedule your exam much easier. So this is one change that is happening actually, that post September 22nd, the BABOK V2.0 based exams will no longer be available. Okay. The new CBAP and CCBA exam will be launched from September 30th. There will be a break between September 22nd and September 29th. Okay, so September 22nd, 23rd, and 29th, there won't be any exams available. Then you will have BABOK 3.0 based CCBA and CBAPs available from September 30th. During this period, you know, if someone fails to pass the CBAP or CCBA exam, that person had to wait for 3 months before that person can reappear into the exam. Okay, IIBA has waived off this period. Okay, so till September 22nd, even if someone fails to pass, they have another chance to write the exam. IIBA has waived that waiting period of 3 months. Okay, so you can write the current CBAPs and CCBAs who have earned their certification based on version 2.0 of BABOK, you will automatically be recognized as CBAP and in BABOK 3.0. So you don't have to rewrite any exam. You will be automatically revalidated, grandfathered into the new CBAP CCBA based on BABOK 3.0. Okay, so this is good. Now let's see what are the changes that are coming. These were some of the timelines and other things that are happening. So one change is in the eligibility, right? So there is a change in the eligibility that is coming. So you know, these are the this slide actually presents you the eligibility criteria for CBAP and CCBA that you have currently, right? You know, CBAP requires 7,500 of BA hours of experience in past 10 years, while CCBA required half of it in past 7 years. So they require 3,750 hours in 7 years. And CBAP requires minimum 900 hours in 4 out of 6 knowledge areas, while CCBA requires that 900 hours of experience in 2 out of 6 knowledge areas or 500 hours in 4 out of 6 knowledge areas. Okay. And rest of the things currently are same for both of them, CBAP and CCBA. Both of them require a high school or college degree. Both of them required 21 hours of professional development or training, right? Both of them required 2 references from career managers, clients, or another CBAP that knew them for over 6 months. Both of them had to sign a code of conduct, and both of them had to pay an application fees of $125 and exam fees of $325 if you are an IIBA member, or $450 if you are not an IIBA member. Okay, so those were the requirement for CBAP and CCBA. Now let's see actually what changes with BABOK 3. So what changes with BABOK 3? The CBAP training requirement becomes 35 hours. So as part of the new BABOK, you will have to take 5 days of training instead of 3 days of training. Okay, you will be required to undergo 5 days of training instead of 3 days of training. And let me tell you, when IIBA decides actually how many professional development hours are necessary, they really do a good job. You know, there is a formal mechanism of evaluating that if you need to understand this BABOK for this exam perspective, really how much of training you need to undergo. So the new CBAP does require 35 hours of training experience. In CCBA, it continues to be 21 hours because the CCBA focus is different. CCBA are intermediate BAs actually, right? While CBAPs are the experienced BAs. So therefore, the expectations from CBAP is different from CCBA. Unlike today, when the CBAP and CCBA, the only difference was the experience level, nothing else actually. So there are some change in expectations. So the impact on you is that you will have to undergo a 5 days of training instead of 3 days. And that means that you will have to spend more time and probably more money. Okay, so that's what it is. So what is the mitigation strategy? We would like to recommend to you that get your application approved till 22nd of 2016. Because once the applications are approved, they will remain valid for 1 year. And even though your application got approved with the criteria of BABOK 2.0, you will be still able to write the exam based on BABOK 3.0. Okay, so you will be able to write your exam based on 3.0. So therefore, get your application approved. If you had attended a training for 3 days and you have those 21 hours of videos, get that application approved. Okay. If you did not get the 21 hours of CDUs, consider attending training and getting your application approved before September 22nd. Okay. If you were thinking of CCBA, the eligibility remains same, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you were thinking of CBAP, would like to recommend this as a mitigation strategy. Get your application approved. Okay, so this is one change and the mitigation that we would like to recommend. The change number 2 is in the contents of the exam. So exam contents are changing itself actually, and let's see what are those changes. So you see, this is our current BABOK 2.0 based CBAPs and CCBAs. So you see, there are general BABOK area, underlying competencies, roughly about 8 questions come in that particular, from that area. And then you have different sections of BABOK, and there are, this is the spread of the questions that come over. Correct questions, and they are removed because CBAPs and CCBAs, they are considered intermediate and senior BAs, and therefore it is expected that they know what business analysis is, what underlying competencies are, and how to use them. So therefore these areas are removed. Okay, and therefore with the new exam you will not receive those easy questions anymore. Okay, also the requirements analysis and design definition will have much more number of questions. They will have 45 in CBAP and 48 in CCBA. So that will be there actually. So this is the change that is happening. Okay. The solution evaluation or benefit realization will have 21 questions in CBAPs, while 9 in CCBA. So this is much more balanced approach of looking at CBAP and CCBA, and that is the change. Now mitigation strategy. Because the easy sections are removed, your already difficult CBAP and CCBA is becoming more difficult. So the mitigation strategy will be actually, I would like to recommend that write the exam based on BABOK 2.0 if possible. Okay, so write that exam if you can. And change number 3, the third change is about the exam questions. So the questions and some of the things about the questions, the pattern, that is also changing. So let's see what is the change. So in current CBAP, current CCBA v2.0, okay, there are 3 type of questions that come. Definition type of questions, pure definition. Sequences will come, okay, and a list. So list of items, and you need to see that everything is correct. So this is the current CCBA, and the new CCBA will have these 3 to that base questions. Okay, so there will be scenario based, and the reasons are actually intermediate BAs. They have experience, right? So therefore there will be scenarios, and you will have to answer those difficult scenario based questions which were part of your CBAP right now. So right now they were all part of CBAP. This is your CBAP 2.0. okay, so the only difference in CBAP and CCBA 2.0 was this, that CBAP had scenario based question while CCBA didn't have those scenario based questions. Now CCBA will have scenario based questions. So in fact CCBA will become your CBAP, right? So CCBAs, those people who were planning to write CCBA, your exam will be as difficult as CBAP. And look at the previous slide actually, right? In addition to that, you won't have these easy questions, right? So those 8 easy questions will go. Okay, so therefore, your already difficult CCBA is becoming more difficult. And CBAP is even more difficult because in CBAP, all these 4 type of questions will remain. However, your definition type of questions will be lesser, because those first 2 sections are not there. And you will have, in addition to this, a case study based questions. So you will be presented a case study, which will be roughly about a page or page and a half. And based on that case study, there will be some questions. There will be 4 or 5 questions. Okay, so the case study based questions will require you to completely comprehend the case study, reflect actually, and see what is the action that you will take in that particular situation. So therefore, your CBAP is becoming more difficult as well. So your already difficult CBAP and CCBA will become more difficult. Okay, and therefore our strategy is the same thing actually. Write the exam based on BABOK 2.0. Yeah, so here your strategy is prepare and pass your exam before September 22nd. And let me tell you, yes, it is possible. It is possible. Now, this part, the red lines, I would like to have the disclaimer. These are our offerings. In none of the presentations like this, we show our offerings. However, this is a specific case because it is time critical for you. And that's why I am showing this to you. The choice is all your, actually, you need to make a choice. What do you want to do? But let me tell you, actually, Watermark Learning and Validate is partner of Watermark Learning. Watermark Learning offerings are the best in CBAP and CCBA. Okay, we had 17 people who could pass the exam within 1 month. The lowest period has been just 5 days. So it is possible to pass the exam before 22nd September. Okay, and what we can help you with, we have come up with additional classes. So there are classroom trainings, and you can look at our website. So there is a classroom training. There is also an instructor-led virtual training, and we have launched to support the aspirants of CBAP, CCBA, anytime self-paced learning. So take a look at our training calendar. You can learn at your own time. The same high quality material is now available to you through online anytime learning. And you can also get the Watermark CBAP certification guide, which is the best book available anywhere. Very well written guide. You can get that. You can get Watermark online exam simulator, and you can get all these from Validate if you want. Right, so you can get that, and you can get all our help if you take our classes to pass the exam. Now, what is the new certification scheme? So far so good, I guess, and I will be happy to answer the questions later. So IIBA, in addition to changes in CBAP and CCBA, has come up a new certification scheme, and this new certification scheme has 4 certificates. So your existing CBAP and CCBA, they are undergoing that change, but they are still called CBAP and CCBA. And IIBA has come up with another certificate called, and they have come up with another certificate which is on the top of CBAP called CBATL, Certified Business Analysis Thought Leaders. Okay, which is for even more senior people. CBA will recognize those individuals who are entering in the field of business analysis. These are the people who either don't have experience and they don't fulfill that criteria of CCBA 3,750 hours, and they can take this course, this certificate. Or these are those people who have been working in the industry, however they didn't have the BA experience, so and they want to develop the BA career. Okay, so this is for those people who want to develop the BA as a profession, a BA as a career, right? So this is the new certificate that has been introduced. CCBA, is again for those people who have business analysis experience for about 2 to 3 years, and CBAP is the BA professional who lead and have over 5 years of BA experience. Okay, so that is for CBAP, and you see the theme of CBAP has changed, and CBATL is to recognize the BA professionals who advance the BA profession and who have over 10 years of experience. Okay. So these are the two certificates, one at the lower end and one at the higher end, that IIBA is launching from September. And ECBA has now this, the like business analysis role and the BA profession, underlying competencies. So they will be actually undergoing through this, the business analysis concepts and the techniques, because really that's what they will be performing when they are entering this particular field. So IIBA has come up with this, and there is a BABOK knowledge. So then you have the BABOK knowledge. And as you see, actually, for the junior BAs, it is very adept, actually. Solution evaluation, they don't actually focus on benefit realization. So there are only about 2 questions. Okay. Strategy analysis, again, they don't do so much of work. So there are about 5 questions, 5% of it. And similarly, they also don't do work on planning and monitoring, they rather execute. So there is a lot less scope, and then you have more scope actually in the other areas. So this is the certificate that has come, which has no experience requirement. Okay, no experience requirement. Anyone can take this certificate. And CBATL is work in progress. It recognizes the BA professionals whose expertise in the BA field is well sought after, have over 10 years of business analysis experience, are industry thought leaders, give back to the community, and contribute to the evolution of BA practices. Okay, level 4 will require minimum of 15,000 hours, and it is based on the assessment actually. So this is work in progress. It is not yet completed and declared what will be the content of this particular course. So these are the complete certifications that IIBA has launched. Now, how do you strategize your CBAP and CCBA? How do you plan and take the BABOK 2.0 exam, right? So first of all, you understand the process and where are the risks, and you need to really mitigate those risks. You need to cover those risks, and that's what it's all about. So first of all, you need to submit your application, right? Application either gets approved or rejected, okay? And if it is rejected, you lose $150, and you will have to wait for 3 months, and therefore the time will expire. Actually, you will have to still write the exam based on BABOK v3.0. So don't let this experience get rejected. Okay, ensure that the application is approved. Because if it is rejected, you will have to write with BABOK 3.0 and you will have to reapply, pay that $125 again. Okay, if your application is approved, then you can write the exam, right? And exam writing again has 2 outputs: either you fail or pass. If you fail, then you don't have to now anymore for 3 months. However, you will still be required to pay $265 more. Okay, and if you pass, of course, you will come with flying colors. So so this is what it is actually, and let's see the risk and what can we do in those risks. So first risk is your application. Okay, so your application is a risky area. How can you cover that application? So first one is this application process itself is stressful and it is prone to errors, right? So you need to do that. It is really stressful, daunting. Most people say it is the most difficult part of achieving your certificate. Right? So please contact us and we can help you. I have a YouTube video, and feel free to watch that video that can help you how to complete your application so that it is not rejected. Okay. And those people who attend our course, we guarantee that your application will be approved. We work with you to complete your application, review your application, and ensure that that is not rejected. Okay. And I would like to share with you some of the common reasons for the rejection of the application. So the application rejection happens because of mostly these reasons actually. Number one reason is, and this is the majority of the reason, something like 90%, the BA experience is wrongly captured. Okay, so total BA experience does not meet that eligibility criteria of 7,500 or 3,750 for CCBA. Okay, so this is one reason. The second reason, which is related, is the knowledge area experience requirement is not met. You remember that you require 900 hours in 4 out of 6 knowledge areas, and you require for CBAP, and CCBA you require in 2 knowledge area 900 hours, or 4 knowledge areas minimum 500 hours. So one of these requirements not met, and that is one of the most prominent reason for your application getting rejected. There is a certain way in which you need to document your experience, and many people actually fail to document that experience in that way, and therefore their application gets rejected. So this is reason number one. Reason number two is also the training. You report some training which doesn't align with BABOK, and therefore these 21 professional development hours are rejected by IIBA. Okay. The third thing is, that your references need to know you for more than 6 months, and if your references didn't know you for more than 6 months, then your application gets rejected. So these are the 3 most common areas for your application to be rejected. Okay, so please ensure that you cover these areas, and as I told that you can watch my video, and that provides the information. Okay, the second area is this area, that your application is approved, however you fail to pass the exam. Right? So how do you overcome this particular area? Okay, so there are 10 ways in which you can avoid the mistakes that you can make for not earning your CBAP. Right? So 10 most common mistakes I would like to share with you, and avoid that mistakes. In addition to that, I would also like to share with you, you can check the readiness of you passing the CBAP on our website. So on our website, actually, you can take an exam simulator which simulates real CBAP like experience, and you can take that exam and see whether you are ready to give your CBAP or not. And this is actually very, very cheap. So you can just go on our website and click that link. You can take that thing before you go and write the real exam. You can do that. So go to our calendar, and under calendar there is something called check your readiness for CBAP or CCBA. You can do that before you write your exam. Okay, so that is one thing that you can do for checking, so that you can avoid that chance of failing. Now these are the 10 most common reasons for failing the CBAP. Number one, not enough study time. If you attend the training from Delegate, you will be required not more than 80 hours of preparation. However, you require something about 3 to 6 months of preparation otherwise. So, and you don't really prepare enough. So that is, if someone doesn't prepare enough and doesn't test whether that person is ready really to write exam or not, then that's a problem. The number two reason actually that we have seen for many places, inappropriate training or ineffective training. Actually, business analysis is a topic which requires a really thorough understanding of business from top. And unfortunately, not many trainers and training material actually of that quality which supports this. So poor training has been the reason number one. Many times we have seen that e-learning is bundled with the training. So they say that you have the training for 21 hours and you have an e-learning for 50 hours. Actually, if you, rather than watching that 50 hours of useless video, if you read your BABOK, you will be able to cover many topics in much lesser time. Really not useful actually. Your e-learning cannot be substituted to a good quality training. Okay, so therefore be careful about it. We have also seen that some people give only 2 days of training and then give you actually the e-learning. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Yeah, we have seen those results. Also, you know, we have seen that some trainings actually have a break in between. So you attend the training for, let's say, 2 days, and then you have a break for a week, and then you again come and attend the training for a day. That break is not good enough. You lose the context, and therefore all these knowledge areas in BABOK, they are actually very tightly coupled. And if you lose that context, you won't be able to learn as much. So that's another thing. Yeah. In some of the cases, we have also seen that people are overtrained, actually. IIBA, as I was saying, they have very carefully chosen this 21 hours of PTUs. Actually, you do not require less or more training than 21 hours. 21 hours, 25 hours, maybe 28 hours at the max. You know, that's what you need. So if you are, so you need to really be very careful how you have been trained. It's extremely important. If you're trained on the wrong things and you don't know business analysis before, that wrong thing will go in your head, assuming that this is right, and then actually nothing works, right? So it is the main culprit in my opinion, right? Also, using only one method of study. Everyone, all of us actually have comfort with some style of learning. Some of us actually are very comfortable reading the books. Some of us don't have enough time and enough energy to read the books actually. We want something quick. We want actually summary. We want to see the entire picture on one sheet actually in front of our eyes. Some of us would like to play and learn actually. Some of us like to practice and learn. So no one has the same method of study, so same method that works with that person. And you know, I have seen many discussions on social media forums where people seek the advice. Tell me, you passed the CBAP, tell me what worked for you. And let me tell you actually what worked for that person may not work for you. So you need to really understand what makes you learn quicker and use that method of study. Okay, and again, please contact us actually, because we do a lot of research on how people learn, and therefore we have developed certain tools which help people of different styles learning at ease. So don't use only one method of study. And relying on the wrong method of study, this is related to point number 3. As I was saying, that someone told that this is what worked for him or her, and you try to do the same thing, and that might be wrong for you, or you, yeah. Not answering enough practice questions. You know, we work with so many people and we get actually the same response all the time. These practice questions are the best resources. And they are, in fact, because you know beforehand whether you are ready or not ready. You also see your score in different knowledge areas if you do the practice questions. And therefore, you can focus your study time. You will focus on those areas in which your score is poorer. And you will not focus on those areas where your concepts are clear and your score is good. So this practice question is very important, right? And this star means that we have the practice questions, so this is a disclaimer. Also, applying too soon or waiting at the last moment. You know, you apply for the exam too soon before you are fully prepared. and then you write the exam and not successful, or waiting till the last moment, when your application is just about to expire, right? So not fully prepared. Trying to reconcile BABOK with your work experience. Actually, I have learned this in many sessions. The same thing. You try to reconcile what is written in the BABOK with your work experience. Let me tell you these. The business analysis practices, they are oftentimes, actually most of the time, they are not aligned with the BABOK. So business analysis practices in your organization, is not in alignment with BABOK. So if you try to reconcile, your answers will be wrong. Okay, so answering questions based on your work experience, really a bad idea. Trying to memorize BABOK guide. Actually, memorization doesn't help. Understanding of BABOK is very important. The questions don't come simply that you can recollect and remember and write the answer. The questions actually requires you to understand what is behind those knowledge areas and tasks. So memorizing BABOK guide, it doesn't help actually, too much of information. Sometimes also not starting and not finishing. You want to do that, but somehow actually something or the other bothering you or keeping you away, and you don't start. So these are the 10 reasons for not earning your CBAP. Ensure that none of them actually come on your way when you are earning your CBAP now. You don't have much time, right? So therefore, don't leave your chances to success. Prepare, write your exam, earn your CBAP. Okay, so this is what we have covered. We have covered the differences in BABOK 3.0 and 2.0. We have, or I have my own perspective. You actually draw the conclusion however you want to draw, but I have my own perspective on how you should plan your CBAP and overcome those common pitfalls and earn your certificate in the first attempt. Right? So that's what it is actually, and really these things speak. In 2015, we had 104 CBAPs who used Validate for their preparation out of 203. And these are the real numbers. We have the name of all these people. Similarly, in 2014, 96 out of 85 CBAPs that India had got. So we got 52%. So really these things do work. I will be very happy to take your question. Okay, so one question is for the advanced thought leadership level certification, do I need CBAP? Yeah, and that is the point that is getting discussed. IIBA has not really decided yet, but looks like actually it may require the things, but unless IIBA comes with an announcement, I will refrain to point anything actually. So let us wait for IIBA to give that answer. IIBA has not yet declared. Question from Neeraj, I want to know more about ECBA. So I have presented to you what the ECBA is. There are no experience requirements, and ECBA will be launched very soon in the month of September-October timeframe. So stay tuned. Number of questions remain 150. That's correct, Ahmed. With BABOK 3.0, number of questions will remain same. The duration will remain same. Can you please reiterate on the references required with minimum 6 months of touch? How will that be proven? So Preetinder, your references need to know you for minimum 6 months. That's what is required, and they need to declare actually that they know you for 6 months, and that's all. That's all, nothing else. What is the cost of ECBA? So Subramaniam, IIBA has not again announced the cost of CCBA, ECBA, and also the CBAP and CCBA exams. So we don't know the cost till they announce. are who knows the CCBA and CBAP can also change. Do you already have the courses formulated for BABOK 3.0 by Validate? Yes, we do have the courses that are ready, and from next month we will actually start offering the BABOK 3.0 courses. I'm working with a BA having around 3 years of experience, but I have not used so much tools. So am I eligible for CCBA? Look, Neeraj, if you have worked as a BA and if you have used the BA tasks, you will be eligible for CCBA. Okay. So you need to really see what is your experience. Are your tasks aligned with BABOK? If yes, then you will be eligible. Pritinder, I have heard about watermark exam tool. Is it useful? What is your opinion on watermark versus Validate? So first of all, Pritinder, Validate is an exclusive partner of Watermark Learning in India. So it is exactly the same. We offer the same course, same tool. We offer everything the same. And believe me, actually, I'm not telling because we are the partner. Watermark Exam Simulator is the best tool available, and that reflects in the success that you are seeing on my screen. How about the exam simulator for BABOK v3.0? This exam simulator is already launched, so we are offering that exam simulator for 3.0. Will you be giving 35 PDUs? Yes, Kushal. Our training got modified, and this training actually will be delivered over 35 hours. So therefore, you will receive 35 PDUs, but you will have to attend the training for 35 hours. Can I get sample format? Needed format of what? Is Validate involved in designing the questions for BABOK 3.0 certification? Yes, actually, we are very fortunate to be part of IIBA community, and we have been contributing in every way that we can. Again, I don't know, Neeraj, which form you are talking. Okay, for your CCBA application, Neeraj, what you can do is watch my video. This is on YouTube, and watch it. It has all the information, and then let me know if I can help you. Yeah. I am willing to give exam before September 22nd, and I am preparing with BABOK 2. If I register now, is it possible to register for the same now? I think you're asking whether you can register for your CBAP and CCBA now, right? Yeah, if it is so, you can register for CBAP and CCBA. Yeah, CBAP, you can register for them. Yeah, any more question? Okay. Is e-learning module offering 21 PDUs validated while approving the application? Yes, Pritinder. The e-learning, self-paced learning also offers the same 21 PDUs. It is exactly the same training that you see in the classroom, and it has all those things that you need for earning your CBAP. When can I expect ECBA training and certification in India? So Neeraj, as soon as IIBA declares, we will be offering that. We are already ready with all our material. We are just waiting for the announcement, and then we will be launching. self-paced learning offering 25 is acceptable for CBAP? Yes, it is acceptable. It is all approved by IIBA. It is acceptable. The question was, in case others did not hear, the question was this self-paced e-learning that offers the 21 PDU certificate, is it accepted by IIBA for CBAP and CCBA? And the answer is yes. Is there any waiting period between two certifications? Neeraj is asking. So Neeraj, if you are eligible for a higher level certificate, you should write that higher level certificate. Don't write for, so let's say you are eligible for CBAP, then you should write CBAP, don't write for CCBA. Otherwise, from IIBA perspective, there is no restriction. You can write those exams as and when you want. I have heard my friend completing self-paced video in 3 days and got 21 PDUs. Is it acceptable? Pritinder, I have also seen actually someone purchasing the e-learning from another provider, and that provider giving the PDUs in a single day. So no one can watch 21 hours of e-learning in 24 hours, right? It is unethical for any organization to give it. We have not done that so far, actually. We would like to get the real thing. So you're right, actually, if IIBA does an audit and some of the applications do come in audit, this can come. Okay, so there is a question, is there any expiration period of IIBA certificates? No, IIBA certificates does not have any expiration period, but it does have a renewal. And let me explain that renewal process actually. You need to maintain your CBAP, and it is like this. Look, when I was studying, actually, I was the topper in the university. And my percentage marks and the next person marks was total 7 percentage point different. So I was really much ahead of the competition. But if you ask me today, you give me any paper today of my engineering, actually, I guarantee I will fail. I will not be able to pass. And why is that actually? Because I have not remained in touch. The same thing happens with CBAP. If you take your CBAP today, and if you don't do anything, your CBAP will not be valid because you will not be in touch and you will not be actually as good as a new CBAP. So IIBA wants to ensure that you keep doing something so that you are staying relevant and you are really staying actually competent for that CBAP level. And therefore, IIBA asks you to report 60 continuing development units. Yeah? And if you actually report those 60 CDUs every 3 years, your certification will never expire. And if you don't report, it will expire. Okay, any last question before I close in just 30 seconds? I'm working in academic domain and implementing ERP. So my question is there any domain category? No, there is no domain categorization in IIBA. You can have any domain, the certificate is same. Okay, thank you very much everyone for joining this webinar. If you have any other question, please do write an email to me, and there is an email on my screen, contact@valicate-tech.com. We will be very happy to help you. Yeah, we would like to see you successful in your profession. We would like to support your aspirations for being certified. Please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much once again for joining the conference. See you next time. Bye-bye.